Hello, how are you all today? Everything good, I take it. We look forward to our World Sports Betting Championships as we continue now. This being the final leg of the Triple Crown and Tiara. WILGERBOSDRIFT and World Sports Betting play a huge role in a day like today. And it's also featuring the big one as well, another Group 1 in terms of the horse CHESTNUT. I want to remind you, if I may, that we've got our social media element as well in terms of outweighted to win our handle. We've got WhatsApp groups. I think we're on group number 7 now, so send your name and email address to our WhatsApp. We'd love you to be part of it. And we've also got YouTube. So the features today pretty much look like this. I mean, there are quite a few, obviously, that we want you to focus on, but we have got, from a feature race perspective, the Europa Point Man of War. We've also got, I just want to read them to you, the Harry Oppenheimer horse CHESTNUT. We're now named the 7th race, the World Sports Betting South African Derby. We've got race 8, which is the WILGERBOSDRIFT BRIDGET Oppenheimer for the first time. We're honouring BRIDGET Oppenheimer this year. The Oaks as race number 8. And then, of course, race number 9 on the card, which ends up with the Karadoc Gold Cup. And that's pretty much what the races look like in terms of feature races. In terms of the TAB tournament competition, that's not starting this weekend. I'm told by our COO, Colin Gordon, and the team that that will begin on Champions Day. So we look forward to that. Darren Burrows, Daryl Marie, straight into the action. Darren, I'll come to you first. It is a bipot. There's a handicap that they run at the 93 level. From a betting perspective, I can tell you that in the second race, they've got Climate Control as 5-2 favourite. And Susan, whom I must be honest, I didn't fancy last time, second favourite at 28-10. Bipots, what we doing?
Well, Clyde, I played the safe route, 1, 3, 5, and 6. Now, the horse that interests me with the blinkers removed is Tamarisk Tree, because he can travel a bit hard and not find a finish. The blinkers removed up in trip. I mean, he's got stamina all through his pedigree. I think we could see massive improvement from Tamarisk Tree. Now, on that form line, Supreme Dance finished 3 lengths in front of Tamarisk Tree last time out. He's got to come into it. And the 2 bottom weights, Climate Control and Susan, not much separating them.
Yeah. Interesting race it is, the second. Not easy. There are a few in here. Bipots, you, Mr. Murray?
Clyde, I originally had the field in this leg. All 6 runners. And my perm was too costly. So I've gone from having the field to a banker. In or out for me. I'm bankering number 5, Climate Control. Obviously, he's super fit. You can see he has been quite busy recently. Last time out on the inside track, at a vital stage of the race, he had to ease for a strider to switch to the outside. I think that possibly cost him victory, and I expect him to reverse the form with Suzanne. He does have a kilogram pull in the weights too. JP reunites with him. He's won him in the past, 52 kilograms. I'm hoping he finishes in the top 2. I'm not getting into the leg confident, but he is my top pick.
I can imagine. You're not worried about the 2000, are you, or what?
No, I think certainly beat distance.
That Son of Raj was a good run. I mean, that ultimately, at the end of the day, you see that a Derby contender later. Here's our bipot. We're putting it up for you now. This is what it looks like, race number 2. And we've got Darren Burrows, where he's going those horses, 1, 3, 5, and 6, by 1 and 2, by 3 and 7, by 3 and 5, by 3, 5, 7, 9, and 1, 2, 5. So no bankers in the Darren Burrows bipot race number 2. Marie, he's prepared, as you heard, to say, I'm taking my chances with Climate Control. That's his only banker. He's loaded up the rest of the card, and for his bipot, he's spending 240 Rand. The Citizen is a newspaper media partner in horse racing that's been with us for many years. They sponsor this Pinnacle Stakes over 1,000 metres, and it's race number 3 on the card, which is naturally, I want to start with Daryl Marie. It's a warm-up, as James Goodman will put it, warm-up for the computer form sprint. But having said that, a horse like Master Archie does appear to be cherry ripe.
Cherry ripe is returning from a 2-month layoff.
I know, but I've seen the work.
Okay. Well, then you've given me a bit of confidence.
Sean Anna sent me a video and said, look at this work, guys. Impressive work.
Well, that's good to know. But unfortunately, I never saw that video, Clyde. So I was going into this race in the dark as to his well-being.
Let me tell you, Tony Peter not bringing them back 80%. I can tell you that much.
Well, he has won the computer form sprint over the course and distance, Clyde. So he certainly has the class. Bartoldi on his day, you know, he can go with the best of them. He's another one that travelled down to the Western Cape for the Cape Flying. We don't know how they travelled, but it has been quite some time since that race. Big Burn, she's clearly weighted to win. Slightly below par last time out. I don't know if she's going off, but on her best form, she's obviously in with a huge shot. Also, I'm going to say he's going to finish in the money is Danilo Danilovic. He's a much better 5 furlong horse. I watched his later start. He got cramped at a crucial stage of the race, and that was over 1200, back in 1000 with Richard in the end. I'm going to say Danilo is going to run a big race. So it's obviously Master Archie on his day. He should probably be the right one, Clyde.
Big Burn and Master Archie, they bumped each other in the computer form last year, didn't they? When Master Archie beat her.
Yeah.
And they're looking to renew rivalry. It's going to be an interesting race. What's most interesting is Hit the March Sunshine. I want to know what you make of that.
I've been disappointed, Clyde. I don't know. Let's see how he goes on Saturday. And I'm still have doubts whether he's trained on. Because they really thought...
They raved about him, didn't they?
They said he's going to win the Cape Flying at one stage. He hasn't really put it together in his latest 2 starts.
Okay, well, let's hope for Shane Shaw that it does come back to form. Here we go. This is what we're looking like now in the third. The Darren Burrows. I want to just quickly... Sorry, Darren, I didn't mean to exclude you. I beg your pardon. Master Archie or Big Burn, or is there more?
1, 2, and 4, Clyde. I can't see any winner coming from the rest of the field. Unlike Bartoldi, I was impressed with that run in the Cape Flying Championships. And he runs well, fresh. Michael Azzi, different class with his sprinters. Master Archie, back with the Peter stable. This course could run an absolute cracker. And Big Burn, I've been disappointed in her last 2 starts.
Yeah, well, with Bartoldi, you're right, because he comes out of the Cape Flying. And from there, the win from Princess Keller. We saw Princess Keller win. We saw Cruise Control win. You know, there have been a few that come out of there. Or be a couple of months ago, but nevertheless got a serious claim. Having said all of that, I'm very big on Master Archie. Daryl Marie, though, in PAs is covering. You can see no bankers in his PA. It's a 480 Rand perm. Big days like these, to be honest, they do now and then throw up the unexpected results. Let's have a look if there's anything else. Is it just Daryl? We've got a Burrows PA too, Mr. Ricardo. Just Daryl Marie PA for now. Thank you. Pick 6 time. We want to get this right on the Pick 6 Derby Day. What do you say, Darren Burrows? 9-2 the field about, 9-2-7 Queen of Shadows for Alec Laird. Wafif Stewie Pettigrew's got 11-2 here. 5 Supreme Quest is at 11-2. I thought ran a very honest race last time. And number 1 in Glamu's trading at 6-1. Don't like the race whatsoever. So what do you make of it? As you can see, all the activity just behind me over here at Turffontein whilst we set up for Derby Day. What do you like?
I thought Wafif good enough for the first 3. Now, last time out was his first run as a gelding, and I thought ran a cracker behind Express from the US. Very capable over the 1400 from a 1 draw. Queen of Shadows, I thought a bit unlucky last time out. She got caught a bit wide around the bend and still found a finish. The drop-in trip shouldn't be a concern, and she's best weighted. So 3 and 7 to fight it out. I would go wider in the play for pick 6s.
What do you make of Wafif, Mr. Marie?
Big runner, Clyde. Obviously above himself in his first run as a gelding. Travelling a bit too hard in that race. But one thing's for certain, the pace should be on in... Well, not should be. I believe the pace will be on because you got the likes of Supreme Quest and Glamu. Global Impact likes to go up there. And there's one other, Queen of Shadows. So I think he will settle in running this time around. He's going to get the run of the race. Strip fitter. Probably the horse to beat. On ratings, it doesn't appear that way. But I think he's ahead of the handicapper still. I still believe he's got more to come. But I like the look of number 2 over here, Willow Express. You just have to watch his latest run to realize how unlucky he was. And I'm going to say he's going to go close to reversing that form with Wafif.
Why do you say he was unlucky? What happened?
He found trouble in the latter stages. Unfortunately, we're not able to show the viewers replays at this time. But this was the replay I pulled out, Clyde. So if you got the time, go on to either YouTube or 4racing.tv and watch his latest start. I think he's the value in the race. I'm going 2 from 3.
Okay, so those are the two interesting race pick sixes. We're going to put it up for you now and take a look at what Darren Burrows suggests. He's going a whole lot of horses. I'm not sure if there are any bankers that come up, and he does. He has a banker. Who's that banker right at the back there? Number 1 in the last leg of the pick six. What are we bankering at the back, Mr. Burrows? What's your last leg of the pick six banker there? Shangani shouting that home. Shangani. Whilst Darryl's looking at Willie Express was stiff. I see he got caught behind by Fief, couldn't get a run, just so that you know. I just looked at the rerun now. Very unlucky. That's the pick six. First leg from Mr. Burrows. Race number 5. Let's talk about the first leg of the jackpot. It's the Europa Man of War. It's over 1,100 metres. Market-wise, Darren Burrows, I'm coming to you first. Let's talk about the betting. They've got the horse Gobsmack top of the boards at 3-1. That's number 3 on the card. Second choice is number 4, Maharani. Will we see Maharani come back to its best? 5-1. Mercantor's back to its best. It's 11-2. And number 2, Quantum Theory is 11-2. And there are a few others, by the way. Horse like Far Away Winter, whom we know is loaded with abilities at 11-2. So, help me break this down.
Clyde, I thought between 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, my first choice is Far Away Winter. I was very impressed with his last start. He should never have lost. He left his runner stride too late down the outside. I know he's not best weighted, but I'm not concerned about that because the best weighted are the 2 fillies, Gobsmacked and Maharani. I think he'll go very close to winning. Gobsmacked returning after a bit of a break, runs well fresh. Maharani loaded with ability, and Quantum Theory, one of my favorite horses in training. The 1100 is a bit sharp.
Would be a few in the race with a chance. Can Maharani, I see, cut close, very close. Well, within 2 lengths of Kiss Me Captain, who's no slouch. And we saw that horse Rockets Redcliffe come out of there and win a couple of months ago. You give it a chance, Maharani?
She's not in my top 3, Clyde. She's joined second best weighted on ratings.
I see that, yeah.
She's only half a kilogram out with the best weighted, who's Gobsmacked. I'm not overly bullish with regards to Gobsmacked. It was a cracking effort last time out. I thought she was a bit stiff in the Magnolia. She did pick up a 2 kilogram penalty for running second, and she comes into the race best weighted. But actually, I'm favouring the Colt and the Gelding. Mercantor, he's badly in at the weight of Clyde, but you just have to watch his latest victory. He had that race sewn up a long way from home.
Maybe this is his distance.
He's 2 from 2 over the course in distance.
Yes.
Richard knows him even better now.
Yes.
I think ignore the ratings over here. Just go with what you saw last time out. He could have won much, much easier than that winning margin. So he's going to be my top pick. Quantum Theory, what a horse to own, Clyde. Really is a lovely sort. Came back after a 3.5 month layoff last time out. He wasn't beaten for speed, Clyde. And he was very game in the finish. They pulled well clear of the balance of the field. William Robertson's a top-class sprinter in his own right. So, for me, I'm going to go 1, 2, and 3 in that order.
And Lucy in the Sky franked that form, the Quantum Theory form, so that does help. But I think you may be onto Mercantor, might be the right one in a race like this. We've got Darren Burrows' jackpot. He's worked out. He's got a few Darren that he likes in this jackpot where he's going 2, 3, 4, 5. He hasn't put Mercantor in, and based on what Darren and I have been talking about, Darren, we might want to include Mercantor into your jackpot if you don't mind. Then those are the numbers added to Darren's jackpot, and if you happen to add the one in the first leg, it'll increase slightly, but that's entirely up to you as the viewer. We're on to the feature race of the afternoon at Group 1. It's the Harry Oppenheimer Horse CHESTNUT Stakes Group 1. Anfield's Rocket won very impressively. I thought a lovely horse in the making, and they're very excited about this horse's chances. So those of you that haven't been to Twitter, please go and visit. Have a look at the comments there at Waited to Win, or our WhatsApp number, YouTube, for Racing TV, right here on 240. We're in all places in terms of if you want to find us. 9-2 the field, though. I thought it might be generous, Anfield's Rocket, or not.
Clyde,
what's he done wrong?
He's done nothing wrong.
So why is he 9-2?
Yeah, it's an interesting race. You got the 3-3-olds, one of the fairer sex, and Give Me a Shot taking on the older horses. The weights favour Bingwa, Clyde. Now, he obviously was in need of his comeback start. He's most effective over this tracking trip, and he's best in over here. So I've got respect for him. Excuse me, Clyde. But he is taking on the young guns over here. Anfield's Rocket. I mean, what a horse. Every time I play against him, he comes to prove me wrong. I don't think that Neatroy is going to be in his favour because Raymond has made it very clear you don't want to bustle this horse. You leave him alone, let him fight his stride, and he's got the finishing burst to pick them up. You know, he's 2.5 kilograms out at the weights with Bingwa, but I'm not reading too much into that because he is a young, improving 3-year-old. And I really think this distance is going to be his optimum, Clyde. I think he's deadly over this track and trip. But a horse that I can't believe its current odds is Thunderstruck. Now, last time out, he had the worst of the draws. He was coming back from a long layoff.
14-1, by the way.
Yeah, I think that's way, way overpriced.
Why?
It was a cracking run in the senior centre, Clyde. He was drawn 1. If you can see, he was given a chance on that occasion. He was really doing his best work late. All the pace was towards the outside. Go back to his run in the Dingans, caught 4 wide. Go back to his run in the Graham Beck, caught 4 wide. He's neatly drawn up here. I really believe he's going to get the run of the race. I think the mile is within his scope. I'm going to go each way Thunderstruck. Health respect for Anfield's Rocket and the top weight Bingwa. And then Give Me a Shot, who clearly needed her last start. It was a prep run. She was over racing. But Clyde, for me, Thunderstruck at 14-1. Get stuck in.
Well, you know, the Dingon's Thunderstruck 14-1 form is deadly. I mean, Royal Victory, Electric Gold, these are all top horses. Billy Bowlegs, Otto Lucken, Unzen, Meridius, they're all top horses that come out of the Dingon's in terms of when the last time we thought Thunderstruck over this distance. So maybe 14-1 is the right price. I don't know. This horse Anfield is something special, I think. It's going to be a very good race. It's a lovely race to watch. Can't wait to watch it. Here we're going to wrap up now in terms of what we would like. Darren Burrows, just a quick your summary. Darren, give us an idea as to what you like, your first choice.
I like this horse, Trip of Fortune. First run on the Highveld. He's probably one of the better milers in the country. He won the Greenpoint Stakes in good style. He was almost scratched in the Queen's Plate because he had a few hiccups leading to the race. And last time out in the Diadem, 1 length off Parive. Alder de Meijers staying up country. He rode on Thursday. He's obviously staying for this race in mind. Golden Ducat. Now also Cape Town form. This horse very classy on his day, and the stand side track's going to suit him down to the ground. He takes time to unwind. The 3-year-olds, Anfield's Rocket and Give Me a Shot got chances. And have a look at Andy Ospel's last form line. 2 runners, 2 winners. That's got to go in. She's at a peak right now.
Yeah, it's a race. There's Red Saxon in there from the Under Your Spell, all that sort of stuff. There are a number of horses that have got chances, and that Triple Fortune form line as well that came out of the Diadem, just by the way, countdown, only runner, only winner. So it's open. If you don't like Anfield, there's a number of them. Daryl Marie says he's taking the 14-1. If you haven't already taken some of it, best you get on now. Okay, now we move on to our big one. I'm going to go to you, Darren Burrows, first. Let's talk about what the plan is here in the Derby, the World Sports Betting Derby. What is your first choice?
My first choice has to be Good Counsel, Clyde, because against older horses in the Aquanaut, he stayed very well and he beat some decent stayers. He's proven himself over the trip. Horses like Billy Bowlegs, Eye of the Prophet, Rule by Force, and Electric Gold, trying the trip for the first time. We don't know how they're going to go. I don't know how much stamina they're going to have. So I've included all of 1 to 5 and number 10, Son of Raj, who's out at the weights completely, but he's a very good stayer.
Yeah, you're quite right. There are a few of them in here. And I'm not exactly sure where to start because it's going to be a very interesting race. It depends on what we saw out of the horse CHESTNUT and what comes out of there. I don't know. Billy Bowlegs is top of the boards. If you don't know, he's favourite to win, Daryl. He's 28-10. I have the Prophet number 2, 7-2. 4-1 about number 5, Good Counsel. 10, Son of Raj is 7-1. Who Johnny Peter doesn't want to know about. 9, Future Pearl is 14-1. 14-1, 3, Rule by Force. And 14-1, Electric Gold. Your choice.
Yeah, like Darren mentioned, Clyde, there is one horse certain to get the trip, and that's Good Counsel. And he beat hard knockers last time out, and he did it convincingly, Clyde. That was even a prep run going into the Derby. So he has to be one's first pick because you know he's going to get the trip. He's going to go handy. And he's going to be the one that they have to peg back. Of the balance of the field, I'm not too certain who's going to stay. So I went and had a look at the latest start, Clyde. That was in the Classic. And they went very, very hard up front. If you see, the first, second, and third horses were all finishers. I mean, Jimmy Don came from last. Billy Bowlegs came from last. Or closer to the back of the field. I've got my doubts over that form line. As to whether they're going to confirm the positions. And I'm going to say, on what I saw, Clyde, and how the race ran, I'm going to say Rule by Force has got a big, big chance of reversing the form. Because he was a horse that was up on the pace. And I watched the replay. He wasn't laying down in the finish, Clyde. He actually fought on very gamely. I think with a more patient ride, you might see a different result. So I expect Rule by Force to turn around the form with those that finished ahead of him in the Classic. I'm going to say he does represent value, but Good Counsel is the horse to beat.
He does get Pierre Straderman for the first time as well. Rule by Force is any price. He was exposed very early. It's an interesting race as to what is going to win the Derby this year. And it's all about whether or not, they get this sort of trip. Let's see. Hope there was some help. There are a few in here that chances. Daryl Marie's worked out his pots and he's taking his chances. He's leaving out some big names in the first leg of the jackpot. He's going with just 3 and 5, Rule by Force and Good Counsel, ahead of 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, by 1, 2, 7, by 1, 2, 4, and 8. Good morning, good afternoon, what time you ever may be watching this. It's time now for race number 8 on the card. Let's have a look at where we are now. This is the WILGERBOSDRIFT BRIDGET Oppenheimer Oaks. It's a Group 2 over 2,450 metres. Market-wise, they've got Bless My Stars as the favourite at 2 to 1. Number 1 on the card. Great finish last time between her and Feather Boa. 5, none others, a lovely looker. 4 to 1, second favourite. 6, Silver Hills. They've been talking about this horse, the Shrudies. Tipping this to me, 7 to 1. And the 2, Lady of Power. Can we give her another chance? She's trading 8 to 1. It's 10s and better about the others. I go to Daryl and Marie, talk about the race. It's some quality in here, good horses that take each other on again and again. And I don't even know you. I know you like Ipso Factor once upon a time, and even maybe you give that a bit of a squeak.
Not today, Clyde.
Okay.
But I could be wrong once again with her. Maybe I'll have another video made.
Teach.
But yes, we did fancy Bless My Stars last time, Clyde. But she got the box seat, she got the run of the race. Everything just went perfectly for her. Look at her draw this time round. It's not going to be as easy. Not that it was easy last time, but she's going to have to work to get into a decent position.
Sure.
I see form reversals happening in the Oaks. Firstly, Lady of Power. She didn't get cover. She was on the outside the first run for the yard. They know more about her this time round. I see her going to the front. With Pierre this time around, dictating. She is going to get the trip, in my opinion. So I think she'll go very close to reversing their form with Bless My Stars. But I've always been harping on about this filly, Silver Hills, Clyde. I think she's been crying out for the extra. I really think we're going to see a different sort now that she goes the extended trip. I've just been waiting for her to get to this sort of distance to prove to the viewers what she's really capable and what she's made of. So I'm going to say Lady of Power and Silver Hills to fight it out. Obviously, I'm not discounting Bless My Stars or none other. I mean, they have to be runners. But I'm going 6 and 2 from the 1 and 5.
2, if you had to make your first choice?
I have to be with Silver Hills, Clyde.
Yeah.
She's my filly. I've always said on the
She'll
show,
stay,
she's
eh?
the Oaks filly.
She'll stay.
Yes.
Yeah. Mr. Burrows, Silver Hills, will she stay?
Definitely, Clyde. Have a look at the family. Her dam, Ash Cloud, won this exact race in 2013 or 2014 when the SA Oaks was still a grade 1. So her dam won, I think, 3 times over 2,400 meters. This filly is crying out for the ground, and I think she'll reverse the form with Bless My Stars, none other, all of them out of that SA Classic run. I think Silver Hills, great value at 7 to 1. I've had quite a big bet each way.
Okay, so you on to Silver Hills. There we go. Darren Burrows 7-1 the win, 15-10 a place. They all on to the Sean Terry horse. That's their choice. They obviously have utmost respect for the Aussie horse, Lady of Power. It's going to be a very interesting race. The World Sports Betting Caradoc. It's always a good race, the Karadoc Gold Cup. It's over 2,850 metres. Razor Hallelujah's not running. That's been scratched, so you're left with 8 horses that run here. And Shangani just bounced back to his best form last time. What price is Shangani? I want to have a look at the market quickly and give you an idea as to what that is. I'll come back to you. I'll give you an update in a minute. Shangani, your first choice, Mr. Burrows?
Definitely, Clyde. Even with the 62 kilos, he's definitely hard to beat. You know, he returned after 7 or 8 months off the track after winning the Gold Cup back in July. And last time out, just went start to finish easy. The step up and trip, no concern. I know he's got to give some hard-knocking stayers like a Rumour Gum, Razor Hallelujah, and Imperial Master a lot of weight. Nebras could be his main danger, but he did run just a week ago. That's my concern. So I think Shangani could go start to finish.
Yeah, someone's told me about a Shruti called Flashy Apache.
Yeah.
Give it a chance.
Sure. If
Current
it's wet,
form, holding form.
If it's wet, I'd say yes.
I don't know if you give it a chance or not.
Claude, yeah, just take note that Razor Hallelujah has just been taken out.
Yes, I see so.
Shangani, I don't think the connections expected that from him last time out. They said that he'd be in need of that run. It's never easy to lump 62 kilograms around 2850 on the Turffontein standside track, Clyde. But if you have a look at the pace in this race, he's the only likely pacemaker. So I don't think he's really going to go helter-skelter or go a breakneck pace. He'll pick it up when he comes into the straight, and he's got the ability to notch up another victory, Clyde. But they do renew rivalry, himself and Nebras. Never been much separating the two of them. Nebras has got the very, very racing fit on his side. He's been backed up quite soon. He won this race last year, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't really want to separate them. I do have a slight preference for Shangani. And then Imperial Master has to be the trifecta inclusion. I mean, he was staying on stoutly in his penultimate start. He's only got 50 to shoulder, so throw him into your trifectas.
We thought Nebras would go past Radiant Holland. How did Radiant Holland bounce back to?
Yes, certainly.
All of a sudden, the Durban July is starting to look attractive for a horse like Radiant Holland. We thought it was, but didn't we say what we were writing her off at one stage? No.
I did, and
well, she's back in the play.
My...
But what do we do in a race like this? This is interesting. I wonder if Tyrant Zaki's not the lurker. He's got a few. Watch out. But here's the play. Let's see what we want to do. Can Shangani win again is the question. Won very impressively. Daryl Marie says take exactas. I beg your pardon, take the trifecta box. 1 Shangani, 2 Nebras, and even a horse like 7 Imperial Master. 3-1 the field, the 10th and final race here today. This is a Storm Dictator tops the board here for Tony Peter, 3-1. This horse, Daryl, was this the horse that Watch Jockey didn't want to ride this horse? Samanga. And who rode it? Can you remember?
Filasandi Mkoli.
Yeah, and ran and
how well is he riding?
Very well. I got beat to half a length, It's the Storm Dictator. Chased after the stable companion, what was it called? Of Ozenker.
Yeah, he did pick up 1.5 kilo penalty for that run, Clyde. My concern is, right, this horse has been backed up soon. I've got huge respect for Tony. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with this horse, otherwise he wouldn't be running it. But Samanga felt something, and he's been backed up 7 days later. That's my only concern in the back of my mind. But, if he just reproduces that effort, you could see him going one better, can't you, Clyde?
Sure.
Black Egret, although he was drawn 1 last time out, I don't think that race was run to suit Clyde. This horse has got a huge stride on him, and others came around him, and he couldn't really get into his full action. So back up the straight, take note, the blinkers go on. From a 1 draw, I'm sure they're going to allow him to stride. He'll run a much better race. Little Miss Moneybags, the last time she was up the Turffontein straight, she blew the field away. But she really hasn't been herself since then, so I don't know what to make of her chances. And Tiz Magic, you can see she's a filly. Her post-maiden form has been close up. She's been competitive. You can't ignore her chances.
I don't know. I don't like the race at all, to be honest. I like another outsider. This is why we got donuts today. You know that?
Yes.
What was the horse we tipped?
Stormy Winter.
Stormy Winter.
Well
25 to 1. Hope you guys got the money on Thursday with Darren Burrows, myself, Daryl Marie. What is it called, did you say?
Stormy Winter.
Stormy Winter. 25 to 1. Into Joe Somer's horse at 1. What was that horse called?
Caliber Crest.
Caliber Crest. Into that double. Well, the result was donuts. Finished. Okay, Darren Burrows, well done on the donuts, my son. What are we doing in the last race that you can get more donuts for us next Friday?
Clyde, if the run doesn't come too soon for Storm Dictator, I think he's an even money shot and he'll win.
Okay, so you like that big time, Storm Dictator. Based on that current form, Storm Dictator is the right one from Darren Burrows. He wants to end off the day with that to win the 10th and final. Thanks for watching this Saturday, everybody. Trust it's been a good one. Look forward to seeing you. We've got Warren Lanferner all the way from KwaZulu-Natal who joins us for the Sunday preview.